So yesterday we learned the basics of writing exponents and solving problems with exponents. Now we're going to be dealing with negative exponents. Okay, so what I mean by that is if we have 5 to the negative second power. Can you solve that?
No.
Yeah.
5 to the negative second power. Try it in your calculators if you have it. 5 to the negative second power. Some of us are saying negative 25.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just 25 because.
But no, because then when you do the power, then you just multiply. Like it's like 5 times 5.
The power doesn't mean nothing, so what's the point?
So the power, you're going to learn, it cannot be negative. There is no such thing as taking a base times itself negative times. Does that make sense? That's like on our number line, remember, we're going down. There's no such thing as multiplying in the negatives. Okay, that many times. Okay, so we need to learn ways that we can fix negative exponents to make them solvable. Okay, so if I have that, I don't like that color. If we have 5 to the negative second power, they're saying to make that solvable, we just need to do the reciprocal. And what that means, this is 5 to the negative second power over 1. So now we need to flip it. And when we flip it, that exponent becomes positive. Okay, the only thing that changes is the sign of the exponent. Now we can solve that, okay? Because the 1 stays, and then what's 5 squared? 25. So the answer is 1 over 25, not negative 25. Okay? So like they did here, same thing. So if we started with 1 over 8 to the negative second, can we solve that? No, because we have a negative exponent. How would we make it positive? Same thing, flip it up. So we'd have 8 squared over 1, or just 8 squared. Yeah? Okay, let's look at a couple of examples. So here they had 2 to the negative third power. Is that solvable? Can we solve that? Why not? Yeah, there's no such thing as negative exponents. So how do we make it positive so we can solve? How do we get rid of the negative? Flip it, because then this is over 1. So we do 1 over, what do I have on the bottom? 2 thirds. Okay, remember, don't put the negative there because what was the whole point of flipping it? To get rid of the negative. Okay, so that negative is gone now. So now what is 2 to the third power? Yep, 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. Yep. So same thing with variables. If we have m to the negative fourth power, how do we make that positive? So what would my answer be here? 1 over m to the fourth power. You got it. Questions? Try these next two on your own. We have 3 to the negative fourth, and we have m to the negative second power. I don't know. I think it's because I'm on that first one. Is there such thing as 3 to the negative fourth power?
No.
Why not?
Because exponents can't be negative.
Exponents cannot be negative, does not exist, okay? So, how do we make it solvable? Why do we flip it?
Get rid of the negative.
Get rid of the negative. So, what's my final answer on this one?
1 over negative 81.
1 over 3 to the fourth, and then we can solve that. So, we have 1 over,
81.
yep, 81. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3.
I thought it was wrong.
3 times 3 times 3 times 3.
Do we have to do that when we write it down from 1 over 3/4, or can we just solve it?
I write that step so I can see. Okay. Okay. M to the negative second power. So remember, if I had m equals 2 and I plug 2 into there, is that solvable? No. So how do I change this to make it solvable? So we have 1 over m to the second power. Yep. So our whole goal is to get rid of the negative exponents. Yeah? Okay, let's look at evaluating now. On to evaluating. Okay, so evaluating exponents, we're still following those order of operations. Okay, but where do exponents come in the order of operations? In the steps.
Oh, first, second step.
Yeah, it's like right at the beginning, right? Second step. So here, let me ask you, does that -5, the power of -5, does that go to the A, to the 4, or both?
Yes.
It only goes to the A. Okay, it would go to both if I had parentheses around here. Then it would go to both. Okay, but since there's no parentheses or anything, it just goes to A. It's only connected to the A. Okay, so what sign is technically in between the 4 and the A?
Times.
Multiplication, right? So how do we make this? Well, first, what does that mean? A equals -2. What do we need to do? Substitute. So I have 4 times -2 to the -5th. Why do I put it in parentheses when I substitute? Why do I do that? So you know it's multiplication and you don't mistake it for subtraction. Okay? So from here, can we solve this using order of operations? Because we have the negative exponent, right? So we need to switch that before we can solve. How do we do that? Flip what? What moves? So what stays on the top? So remember, these aren't connected. Okay? Only this part is with the -5. So that 4 is going to stay on the top. Over, and then that -2 to the 5th power goes on the bottom. Okay, that 4 stays on the top. Now we're just going to evaluate. We have 4. On the bottom, we have an odd power with a negative base. Positive or negative? Odd is negative. And then what's 2 to the 5th power? 2 times 2? Times 2?
8.
Times 2?
16.
Times 2?
32.
32. Can I leave it like that? Way back to last chapter, can I leave it like this? No, why? I can simplify. What do I divide by to simplify? 4. So 4 divided by 4? 1. 32 divided by 4 is 8, and we still have that negative. Okay. I want you guys to try this one. 16r to the -3. Remember, -3 goes to which part? -3 is with the r. Yep. What's our first step? Plugging in the 4. Okay. So we have 16 times -4 to the -3rd power. Okay. What should our next step be? What? Because what do we notice? We have that negative in there. So what stays on the top? 16 stays on the top. Okay, what goes to the bottom? -4 to the +3rd power. Good. Now we can just evaluate. 16 stays. We have an odd power with a negative base. Positive or negative? Negative. And then 4 times 4? Times 4? 64. Okay, can we leave it like this or can it be simplified? What do we divide by? You can divide by 2. Let's do it. What's 16 divided by 2? 8. What's 64 divided by 2? Can we simplify more? By 4. 18 divided by 4? Sorry, 8 divided by 4? 2. 16. Can we still simplify?
Yes.
Yes, by what?
2.
2. So divide by 2, we get
1/8.
1/8. 1/8. Now are we done?
Wait, you could have also simplified 8/30, like 8
Mhm. You could have simplified this one by
8.
16. You could have done 8 also.
Would that have been
Because I got 1/4.
Mhm.
Because that's what I got. Yeah, me too.
I don't like, I'm not
Sorry. This one should be 8. I was a step ahead. There we go.
There.
Questions over exponents, negative exponents. Okay, biggest thing, can we have negative exponents? No. Okay, I want you guys to also try this one. 2x to the negative second times 3x. When x equals 3. You guys try that one. All right, let's work this one out together. What's our first step? Yep, substitute. So we have 2 times 3 to the negative second, and then 3 times 3. So all I did there was substitute 3 in for x. Okay? From here, what do we need to do? Right, because we have that negative second power. So what stays on the top? 2 stays on the top, and then what do I have on the bottom? 3 squared. And then what's 3 times 3 over here? 9. Okay. So let's keep going. We have 2 over, what's 3 squared? 9 times 9. Think way back to chapter 2. Over 1. Okay. How do we solve this? We can simplify, or we can multiply straight across. What simplifies? The 9s cancel each other out, and we're left with 2. Now multiply straight. We're left with 1. I see. Now multiply straight across. So we have 2 over 1, which is 2. Questions? Negative exponents? No bueno. Cannot have negative exponents. All right?